Everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing the most expensive deck on Arena, at least it seems. As I was doing the outro, you can see it divided by mythic, rares, commons, and uncommons. We are playing the cage kind of combo deck, if you would. I'll bring it back out here. But we are playing the cage combo, all around collector's cage. This is a really sick card. Hideaway, a very cool mechanic that gets monitored pretty heavily. They try to put really tight restrictions on it because it is such a breakable card, we'll say, and it does allow you to do nonsense things because it is on an artifact, so we can activate it the turn it comes in. But this says put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control for 1 mana. Then if you control 3 or more creatures with different power, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. And Hideaway is the keyword that we're kind of looking at, and the 5 is the quantity that we're able to do. So sometimes it'll be Hideaway 4, could be Hideaway 10, could be Hideaway 2. It could be any of those numbers. That's just telling you how many cards you're going to look at. But this says whenever this permanent enters the battlefield, look at the top 5. That would be replaced with whatever the Hideaway X is. So if it was Hideaway 2, that would say look at the top 2 cards of your library, exile 1 face down, then put the rest on the bottom in a random order. So you would shuffle those, put them on bottom. In paper, you would just throw 4 to the bottom. Nobody's really going to be monitoring that hard. But Collector's Cage enters, and the card we hope to hit is the Overlord here. This is a 7 mana creature that sometimes will get to cast on turn 3. If possible, most likely turn 4 if it's underneath there. And whenever this enters or attacks, you make 2/1 white and set creature tokens with flying. That has a lot of synergy in the deck overall, which we'll get to in a moment. How do we get to do this early? Well, we start off with Llanowar Elves. Llanowar Elves obviously just a mana dork, as we call it in the biz. We just tap it at a green, and that allows us to play any of the 3 creatures over here for a total of 10 copies of kind of these similar effect type creatures, being Evangelist, 2/1, enters battlefield, makes a 1/1. I guess this one doesn't work too well with the cage, I guess, but enters, makes 2 creatures. Sandstorm Salvager, this does work. And then the Toby. So we technically have 6 if you want to do it as early as possible. That can do it. And Toby is a 1/1, makes a 4/4. This is a 1/1 that makes a 3/3. So very cheap creatures that put a lot of power and toughness on multiple bodies. This actually has a restriction on it. This one does not, but the creature is 1 and 1 less in terms of the creature that it makes in terms of power and toughness difference. But Toby does also have a really good ability on it that I will read now. When it enters, it makes that token. As long as you have 4 or more creature tokens you control have flying, which we definitely most likely will have that pretty often. I can tell you based on the video I played, we have that pretty often. So a lot of times even blockers in our way will not matter because we'll be able to fly over. And then on turn 3, because we play Llanowar Elves, we play one of these on turn 2. If we play Collector Cage on 3, because it's an artifact and we can activate it right away, we can immediately put a counter on either of these 1/1s. We need it to be different power than the Llanowar Elves. So we can put it on either of these 1/1s. And then that gives us a 1/1, a 2/2, or a 3/3, or a 4/4, triggering the Collector's Cage, allowing us to cast the Overlord for free. Outside of that, we're just playing some cards to keep us alive, some cards to get value, and another card that I learned worked a little bit different than I thought. This deck is really good when it comes to playing best of 3, as it is currently being played by some people that are in the top 5 mythic. I cannot remember their username. I see them on Twitter. A couple of people have been playing this deck on Twitter, fighting for that #1 spot in mythic ladder. And there's also been a challenge on MTGO, that's Magic the Gathering Online, where this just recently placed 3rd. That's the list we're using today. So there is indeed a sideboard for anybody looking to play best of 3. But like I brought up in the very beginning, in terms of craft wise, this is a very expensive deck, but it is a very fun deck. So take that as you will. On to the games. Also, if you like my content, consider subscribing. That'd be really cool. So let's just go play. Sure, I guess. Even though it is a little awkward with Llanowar Elves coming in on turn 2. I guess we might have to get lost something. Sheltered, obviously not going to happen. Alright, well, they can figure it out. I don't know. Sure. Upsy daisy. Sure. Land. Making the best of one, brother. Sure. I make a thing that can't be hit with go for the throat. Bandit's talent? Interesting. I get rid of that. One card gets hit with get lost, the other one doesn't. Oh! What is this? There's 2, 3. I have currently 7 on board. Sure. I wonder what I'll discard. Sure. Can we find a cage? No, we do find another land though. I'm just not gonna hold into the deck that's just like playing only discard effects. Land board wipe. Third Bandit's Talent. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh man, how far Bandit's Talent has fallen from its grace. As a guy that played 4 of them in a lot of decks, yeah, that feels kind of sad. Opponent is first. Okay, we can keep. We can run it down with his hand. Maybe. We might already be dead. Oh, bro, it's so crazy. I just see a red land and they always play a hard fire hero one, and I'm like, yeah, I'm dead. Fantastic. I will take that all day. Does not bother me in the slightest. Now it does. Oh, we just have to wait here, I think. We're just going to Soul Partition this Emberheart Challenger, I think. Or the Screaming Nemesis and just make it cost 5 mana. This will be the one time mono red will also find the mana to get to that. We all know it. One counter on it, 3 or more. Another creature you control enters, put them on. When I read this the first time, I thought this specified it had to be a cat. I didn't realize it was any creature. What? Whenever another creature you control enters, but it doesn't even specify tokens. Is this card cracked? Also, team, it's 4 mana. No. You solved the problem. The reason we're not doing anything is because I feel like they have a removal spell and I cannot lose both my creatures when I have a Shelter by Ghost. We're gonna let one of my okay. I'll allow it, I guess. Here. Here. And then now, obviously, we're racing. Because the card we have to be able to beat is when they play this land from hand and they cast a Screaming Nemesis for 5 mana. Which I don't think they can do, actually. I think that's illegal. And I call bull. The only red player to find 5 mana to cast their Nemesis. Well, I got nothing to do here. Got Witchstalker Frenzy. Disgusting. The 5 mana helped them in 2 ways there, and I'm actually upset about it. One time I'm like, please don't have 5 mana, Mr. Sir. And they're like, nope, I have it. And one of the few players still playing Witchstalker Frenzy. I do not see people play Witchstalker Frenzy very often. But it's against me, so, you know. I'm not gonna do that, obviously. Sure. As long as you control 4 more tokens, creature tokens you control have flying. Okay. Pass. Screaming Nemesis does not bother me that much. Does obviously, but like obviously have a very ferocious attack on the back end. They can prowess this. I don't know, dude. Blow me out. I don't know, bro. Use your other spells. Oh, no. Okay. Interesting. I guess we're in. Down to 9. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. We're in. Sure. Llanowar Elves. We're in. Reading Screaming Nemesis again. Our Llanowar Elves is here to block Screaming Nemesis. Sure. Because it'll only make Screaming Nemesis deal 1 damage. We're just kind of hoping here. Obviously, Monstrous Rage blows us out regardless, right? Sure. Before. Yeah. You didn't have it. Oh, snap. What do you mean? That's crazy. We actually come away with that game. Go first. Very cool. Or Llanowar Elves live. Who knows? Not me. This is one of the weird things where obviously I could sprint out this Toby, but I don't know if it's necessary here. I think I want to do this. And then I can rush out Toby if I want, because then this grows into a 3/3. Maybe I should have just Soul Partitioned. I don't know. You see, like, the white mana, it just feels so weird. Obviously, I'm not blocking. Filtered by Ghost can solve a lot of problems for us anyway. There's 6. 5. Sorry, it doesn't have prowess. I guess I just play Toby. Man, I guess just attack, right? We might just have to play this game like we are trying to win games. I don't know. Helix. Or we Boros Burn then? We're just playing this card for some reason? Right away 5. Can I do the combo here? When does this come out? I won't count. Here? Yep. This one. Sick. Should I just attack? Just can't attack alone, right? I guess I can just wait, right? What a sick cage. And his deck that makes a lot of different creatures. Oh, Able. So I think I know what list they're on now. Which, if they have the protection spell at this point, so be it, right? Yeah, I don't think they do. I had to find out a little bit more information before I was ready to like commit. But obviously, we're gonna hide away again, and then we're going to watch our opponent pick him up and leave. Oh boy, opponent going first here is actually really tough. 1/1, 3/3, 1. Honestly, if we keep this and it's a draw 2 lands in a row, this is probably going to be really, really good. Especially against maybe what we're up against here. Okay. Well, we can also do a little bit different. Where, like, worst case scenario here, we play this land and then we just play the Pawpatch maybe. But we probably got some auras coming down, I would assume anyway. As long as it's not sheltered by ghost, of course. Why do they wait until I say the card name before they decide to play? I swear it's to spite me. Well, I could play a collector cage now, but does that do me anything? No, I guess not. We played this for one. We played this to play this. And we kind of still have to hope our creatures around to just like stack cages. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game, dude. There's no way that that's an actual offer. That's just like, that's so not a real offer. There's indestructible something in there. I don't believe that at all. Here. Hopefully they don't know what I'm doing. That'd be sick, obviously. But right now, the way the kind of conditions are met, I don't even want to get Elspeth smited. I just want to wait. I just want to chill. I want to relax. Take my shoes off. Sit down. Have a good cup of tea or something. I don't know what I'm saying. But, yeah, so we have to be careful with this because we do have to target the 3/3. Because this specifies just power, I believe. Control 3 or more creatures with different powers. So if we put it on this card, it'll go to 2, matching this. If we put it on this card, it'll go to 3, matching this. We have to put it on here and kind of overload on a creature, which is something I traditionally don't like. But it's definitely an awkward one. But now they're stuck in an awkward spot for sure. We do hit a land. If I had a land drop, I would block. But I'm not going to. They can pump, do stuff. I don't know what auras they have at instant speed to really blow this game open. Maybe it's a couple of those. Oil treatment. So protection spell, protection spell. Uh-huh. This is twice I have played against that deck. And they, like, if you choose not to, like, try to kill their thing, they get, like, no value. And they've conceded like that twice. It's actually insane. I don't know what the list is. I've just played against that creature twice, and they've been holding 4 cards, and I never tried to remove it. And then they just concede. We go first. This is actually a pretty good hand. Playing this on 2, playing this on like 3 gives us like massive counters and things like that. It's just really nice. Although it's like way to say hello. I assume that is like good game as in like, hey, have a good game, you know, like kind of what you do before like an athletic event. But I don't know. Or maybe they just have lethal. They're like, you're dead. And I'm like, I believe you. Weirdly enough, I believe you. Put as many big creatures in play as I can. Also with this coming in next turn, we get like really close to just giving our tokens flying, which we'll get next turn. I don't know, man. Ethereal Armor Monstrous Rage with double strike is really good. Now it has flying. Yeah. Monstrous Rage puts it up to 5. That's half my life total on turn 3. Now, obviously, if I draw Shelter by Ghost, they lose, or no, I don't. Not Shelter by Ghost. Soul Partition. Yeah, I think that's like all we roughly play. There's Ethereal Armor. All right, well, it's 8. Not necessarily as bad as we thought. There's still a lot. Down to 12. We're really sad about it. Play this land. We do make a lot of creatures here. Even the Squire now has flying, which is very good. Obviously, I'm in the business of hitting them for more than their life total. And being like, hey, man, it's going to have to be a Monstrous Rage. I'm at 14 effectively if they do put Trample on the Manifold Mouse, which is very likely. Maybe I should have held the Squire back because it's a lot of damage to prevent. Maybe. Hey. Be happy. Target that. Now, if they even hit a land, it doesn't matter now, right? Sure. So this is 12. They're also dead next turn. As long as I can keep both of these tokens. They let me keep both the tokens. Very sick. Thank you. So this is 12. I go to 1. Correct. If they would have attacked with both. Now obviously they could play land and shock me, but I'm dead to that regardless, right? But we play this. We play this. Now because I have tokens, my tokens now have flying. And that thing's huge. Game. Sick. Sick. Sick or sick. Yeah. Because what's nice is playing this, and then if you get the offspring this, if they target anything, everything gets so many counters. Now it definitely seems like the way to go. Bye-bye. Definitely have to find a land though. Cage is good. Don't think we're gonna see a second duress. I think we're gonna see some removal here. Definitely want to land though, more than anything. All right, we see one removal spell only here. On the stack. If they're going to remove something, they have to do it now or want to do it now. It's a tough choice. Like, genuinely, it's a tough choice. It's like, do you want to target the one that gets counters or the one that doesn't get counters? We miss a land, which does suck. Obviously, the Collector's Cage is a card that we really need to find. Melissa, good. Out of my way. We're in there. We're hitting. Move it. Oh boy. If we had a land, I feel like this game's not necessarily that close. It feels pretty easy because we play this and then the collector cages are just good, right? Like, that's the thing. Fair enough. All right. Play this one. Obviously, we might as well just wait for now, I think, right? Yeah, I'm going to pass. They also miss a land. And obviously, the creature we target is our 3/3. Because it's an artifact. So, go for the throat, can't kill it. Cut down, cannot remove it. So, we have a lot of reasons to just kind of like hold it there. Count the cages. How many do we need? Now, Terra Sunder is obviously a card, I guess. This is a legendary. This is a good card, though. I guess I'm going to just put that in there. 3, 2, 1. So I guess it doesn't really matter. This one. So if they target it and remove it, I guess I get to, like... I guess I get to add more counters in places. I feel like my 1/1's a free attack here. So I'm definitely attacking. Like, I feel like his Scavenger is a free attack. Sure. Don't mess up. Don't mess up. I can put 2 counters on it. Sure. Down to 2. Now, cycling this seems like off the table in general. Go for the throat, sure. 4, 4, 3, 2. We really only need one creature out of here. Are we the deadly cover-up version of the deck? So far, I've not seen a card that would make me think so. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they are. Opponent first. We play here. Worst case, we play this on 2, and then we try to play it Toby. Or we just ignore the cage, and then we play the Toby instead. But there's probably a cut down ready for me. I might just play this tapped and then look to play the Toby instead. Yeah. I feel like cage is always really good if you can activate it like post the turn you want to play it. Well, now it's a little bit different, right? Is it different? I think the math's different. I don't exactly know, but I'm gonna trust that it is. Here. Not the best card under there anyway, so we probably won't prioritize this cage at any point. Oh no. My favorite card. 2 blockers. Not play this because if they just kill the Toby, they can just hit me. I can't block. Sure. I feel like we had a chance to win this game ever. What? Like, hopefully Unstoppable Slasher and my combo piece is enough. I would argue it is. Honestly, here we'll probably just block with Toby if they allow me to. Okay, yeah, sure. How much more removal you got, dude? What are we doing? What? I don't even care. You can hit me at this point. What? Look at his hand. Holy cow, bro. That's wild. Let's put block fodder in play. This doesn't even work, I guess. Yeah, I had to play the Toby. Wow. I made a really good play. I'm gonna make one creature that's big enough to kill it. Then I can play Toby and then activate. Kind of the same thing. Oh, yeah? Yeah, you just have the nuts? Okay, sure. Shelter by Ghost off the top or I lose the video game. Uh-huh. I'm happy for you, bud. Quite the video game we're playing. Okie dokie. Have another Archfiend to play. Sure. Okay. My only option is to attack, I think. And I'm not even going to count. You figure it out from here. Nice. You figure it out. I'm not doing the math. They blocked the 6/5, the only block that makes sense. And I... Okay. Wow. I know. I about... Y'all watched me about explode. I was just like, there's no way they're playing this much removal. Or have this much. Opponent first. Elves. Toby. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like land Toby. Maybe get to play the Overlord. We'll never know. Oh, not my favorite. I love mono white control. I love losing the temporary lockdown. I guess it's just, I don't really care which one it is. I could have saved a life total by playing the Scavenger, I guess. But we'll see what happens. Okay. Fair enough. Less likely for this to hit, that's for sure. Okay. I feel like a tag, right? Here. 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 I don't know if this is better or worse. I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea. Sure. I feel like a deck that Authority of the Councils is incredible against is definitely me. I feel like I'm the best matchup for this card right here. Like, if you're going to get Authority value, it's definitely me. Okay. Okay. Would you like 4 value? I'll gain you 2 life. If you'd like. I'm not pumped about it, but it's what'll happen. Here's 8. Down to 15. If I draw an untapped source, they actually die, which is sick because we can activate the prairie. Oh, actually, can I just Soul Partition this thing? What, does 10, 12, 13, 14, 15? Sure. Almost missed it by thinking that I just missed it on the Restless Prairie. But, yeah, cool. Mono white control, my favorite deck. It's not that I hate like mono white, because I think it's a really good deck, and I think it's a good option if you ever want to build a deck that you think is going to be really solid for a long time. It's just like when you're talking about arena and how long games last, and the average game last time is like 3 minutes, but then if you look up mono white, it's like 7 to 8. It's just like, you know, you're about to play 10, 12, maybe 25-minute games, and you're just like, comparatively, right? We're trying to be fast, and we're like, play a creature. Can you answer it? It's a weird game. Well, plot 1, very cool. All right, so this deck, I think overall just performs well in general. I think it went very good for us. Obviously, it is like a mono white build technically, but I would argue that some of the green cards that enable us are honestly more better. Wow, I really was taught English the best of its capabilities, that's for sure. That sentence didn't even make sense. I'm done. I don't want to talk to anybody anymore. I'm about to say bye. But honestly, the green adds so much more value to this deck that I think you almost have to do it. Obviously, if you're on a budget and these are already a lot of rares, it's probably not a deck you're looking to craft regardless. 4 mythics for this, quite a lot. The whole big score in general is quite a lot to kind of have to deal with. But this deck felt good overall, and it has been for a while. I think there's a Twitter account, they're a streamer, and that they actively sit anywhere between the top 5 to 1 on Mythic Ladder or best of 3, and this is actually one of the decks that they've been piloting quite often, and this exact list kind of got derived from a challenge, which was that deck from elsewhere, so it's kind of like a weird thing. But this deck has been popping up more and more and more. just because of what you saw today, like the amount of pace that it puts into play. And if you get the collector cage, like if you turn 1 this, you turn 2 one of these guys, you collector cage on turn 3, activate it, and you put this in, that is temporary lockdown or bust, pretty much. And if you're not able to do that, it just gets devastating overall. And honestly, the best kind of tempo play is if you do get the Llanowar Elves. Obviously, Toby is really nice, and Sandstorm's really nice, but I almost feel like the Evangelist is the best, because you do get that additional pump across the board whenever it comes down to it, but the token it makes is the smallest. So it does kind of matter, and it's not necessarily that turn that matters a ton, especially if you hit this. It's the following turn when you get to attack with all the creatures that it